Hey there everyone, I'm News 6 meteorologist Samara Cokinos. Well, we are getting closer to 11 o'clock tonight where we are expecting a new track to be issued for Tropical Storm Isaias. But let's take a look at the system right now. On the water vapor imagery, you see all that purple and red and orange situated just to the south and east of the Florida coast. Well, that is the bulk of the moisture. The thing about this storm is earlier today, it encountered some wind shear and some dry air, which caused it to kind of weaken a bit. So pressure went back up a little bit. It's at 993 millibars. Winds went down a little bit to 70 mile per hour winds. So that's where we are right now. It is moving very slow to the north and west at about 9 miles per hour. So that did, if you haven't been keeping track of this storm, it has slowed down just a tad bit. So let's put the track in motion here so you can see what's going on. I zoomed in pretty tight because what's going to happen is overnight this storm is going to gain strength again with the forecast. It says, hey, listen, we think that it's not going to encounter a whole bunch of shear. It's going to ramp back up to hurricane status as it approaches getting closer to about Jupiter and West Palm. Thing about it is, as it gets closer, it kind of hugs the coastline from Sunday at 2 just south of us all the way to the time it crosses potentially over the Cape, and we're talking about that happening at 2 o'clock in the morning on Monday. But look at what happens during that time frame. It goes from hurricane to tropical storm, so it could weaken just a little bit. That means the wind speed is really going to go down. The thing about it is, we always tell you, don't pay attention to the category of the storm. We want you to pay attention to the impacts because that's what's most important at this point. So let's take a look here and let me show you what's going on here. The latest computer models showed the TVCon, that coral color kind of still hugging the coast, maybe bringing it in just a little bit, but the computer models are starting to get tighter together and get closer in agreement with getting still keeping this particular system near our coastline. So when we talk about watches, warnings, and the different type of tropical alerts you need to be aware of, really not much has changed other than Flagler County. So Flagler County, your coastal areas are now under a tropical storm warning along with the rest of the county. And then you go offshore and you'll notice that's where the hurricane warning takes into effect. And that's all the red you see here on the map. So yes, coastal Volusia and even Brevard County are under that hurricane warning for now until further notice. Inland zones, we're talking about Seminole, Orange, Osceola, Inland Volusia, and Flagler County, all under that tropical storm warning until further notice. So those are the very small changes, and of course those will update tonight at 11 as well. Looking at the possible wind field for tomorrow, we still believe that the coast could get up to that 60-75 mile per hour range, and then inland zones, we're talking about getting closer over to Lake Sumter and Marion County, really not feeling the impact of that pounding wind so much, but you could still get winds in excess of 20 and going up to 30 miles per hour tomorrow, and it's going to be most noticeable by the afternoon. So in the morning, Brevard and Osceola will start to feel the wind pick up, and then everybody else will follow suit, and it's really going to pick up tomorrow late day going into the overnight hours. Looking at the rain outlook, 1 to 2 inches for the areas in the green, so that's our far western counties, including Lake County. But if you're getting a little bit closer to that eastern periphery of Lake County, touching Volusia or getting closer to Orange County, that's where you could actually see in excess of possibly that 2-inch rainfall mark and go up to 3, maybe 4 inches. But again, that would be in an isolated cell. But looking at that orange color, not the red that's along the coast, 2 to 4 inches there. That includes the Orlando Metro going back into Sanford, DeLand, Pearson, all those areas. And then you go into the coastal zones. We're talking Flagler, Volusia, and Brevard County. You could see 3 to 6 inches of rain. And of course, if the rain keeps training and you get some of those really bouts of heavy, heavy rain, you could see an excess of 6 inches of rain by the time it's all said and done. And this is, it's going to be one of those things where you'll notice our southern zones, as I put the clouds and rain forecast in motion tonight, we could see a few little stray storms maybe move in, or showers rather, move in from us just south of us, where those bands of rain from Isaias are already moving in. So yeah, I can't completely say, hey, the forecast tonight is going to be mainly dry. I think our southern zones could see a few spotty showers. But then as we head through the day tomorrow, notice by about 9 o'clock, and I think as early as even 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, our southern Brevard, southern Osceola area will be starting to get to see a little bit more rain action, and then it's going to move into the rest of Central Florida throughout the day. It really picks up in the second half of the day. Notice that it turns a little little bit more widespread, and then you start to see those pockets of heavy rain. So those pockets of heavy rain will add up fairly quickly, possibly leading to some flooding along those areas that have a tendency to flood, like lower lying areas or streets that you know are going to flood. Please do not drive down flooded streets. Turn around, don't drown. It takes very minimal water to float your car. So as we head into tomorrow night, this is 8:30, and you'll notice that spinning motion there along our coast. So our coast is really going to be the focus of this particular storm. But again, those rain bands you'll see continue to wrap around and back into parts of Central Florida for early Monday morning, and it doesn't stop there. It'll actually keep going until late Monday afternoon and going into the evening hours. You see the bands of rain just keep funneling in. So this rain event for us is definitely going to be after the storm has moved to the north and east, headed back out toward the water or even closer to the Carolinas. But the thing about it is we're not going to be done with this rain just yet. So let's look at the next 3 days, okay? So for tomorrow, 70% is your rain chance with a high of 87. So there's going to be a lot more cloud cover, a lot more rain coverage. Temperatures won't climb to the mid-90s like they did today. It will be very humid. It's still going to be humid, especially in the first half of the day when we're heating up, okay? The wind is going to pick up, and it's going to stay pretty nasty as we head into the early part of Monday morning. So we're going to keep your rain chances fairly high, but if we get some breaks in those clouds to allow for that daytime heating, it's going to heat up fast, okay? So we're calling for a high of 92, 91 there on Tuesday with, again, there's 70% chance for rain. So pretty much up in the upcoming work week, you're still going to see high rain chances all the way through the week, but your temperature trend definitely goes back up after tomorrow, back to the low 90s, right where we should be. So coming up at 11 on air, we will have Chief Meteorologist Tom Sorrells in the house with me, and we'll be pinpointing the latest track for Tropical Storm Isaias. We'll show you whether or not it is gone back up to hurricane status or if it's still going to be tropical storm for a couple more hours. We'll have all those details, and of course their updated impacts county by county for you, and for the timing of the rain and the wind and all that stuff that you're interested in for you during the 11 o'clock news. So join us then on News 6, and of course we'll keep you updated on air and online through this event. Thanks for choosing us, and we'll see you a little bit later.